For the past few days, I've had an idea kind of in the back of my mind that I wanted to explore in a sort of practice session. And because I didn't get to it, I thought it would be a good idea to kind of just turn on the camera and sort of see what comes out and give you guys an insight of like what a sort of advanced concept exploration might look like from my perspective. Many of you might be familiar with this idea of a drop 2 chord voicing. So this is like, this is a C major 7 voiced in a drop 2 fashion. So if you don't know what a drop 2 is, it's just a structure of 1, 5, 7, 3 on this chord. And obviously you get the other qualities, right? Major, minor, dominant, and half diminished. And then you get also the inversions of that, right? From this structure. So we have one concept and then, the logical, one concept taken to its logical conclusion through all the available chord qualities as well as all the inversions. In some reading that I've done on the Almanac of Guitar Voice Leading, something that Mick Goodrick talks about is different triad over bass notes. So for example, if I take this chord, this C major 7, and I drop the major third to a 9, we get a G over C. And then, you can see that as a C major 9 completely. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have the triad structure over the bass note. And, there's a video of Tim Miller talking about this chord in particular and taking that through its inversions. And it's super cool, and I've done a lot of creative stuff with these chords. But I was kind of thinking about what it would look like if I dropped a different note from that original drop 2 voicing to kind of and sort of explore what sort of voicings I would get with that. The reason why I was kind of thinking about it is because it felt like a memory of something I had read in the second part of the Almanac of Guitar Voice Leading. He has this section about other triad over bass notes where he goes like, where the chapter is called "Don't Try to Name This Chord," which makes sense because apart from the structure, it's a little bit ambiguous to kind of assign it a specific chord voicing name. So anyways, the concept that I'm trying to explore in front of you guys right now, it is a simple idea, but I want to take it to its logical conclusion with you guys. So what I want to do is I want to take this drop 2 voicing and I'm going to drop the 5 to the 4. And the reason why this interests me is that usually you don't get a lot of modal Ionian voicing. So this is an Ionian voicing because we have a major 3rd and a major 7, but we also have the perfect 4th. And it's not really a chord that people use often because the perfect 4 is generally regarded as an avoid note in sort of conventional harmony. But it does kind of come up here and there. So I thought it would be something I wanted to explore just to kind of get some new voicings underneath my fingers and kind of see if anything cool comes up. And this sort of exploration, this sort of concept exploration is sort of an advanced practice idea, to be quite honest. It's something that I've been thinking about. So I don't expect many of the people that usually like watch me to have done this sort of practice. So I thought it would just be cool for you to check out. So let's kind of like look at it together and see what happens. And maybe we'll find some cool voicings, So let's kind of start by talking about the chord qualities that we'll get in this first root position chord. So we take the major 7 and I drop the 5 I drop the perfect 5th to the perfect 4th. So we get this. If I want to do that with the minor 7, it would be this. Now this is a chord that I use a lot already. Sort of an all 4th like minor 11. And then I can do the same thing with the dominant chord. Again, this is kind of something that I've used before with that major 7 interval here. And then with the minor 7 flat 5, it's this. So we actually get this voicing twice for both chord qualities. So we'll sort of forget about the minor 7 flat 5 right now, and we'll just stick with this one for both minor 7 and minor 7 flat 5. Now something that comes up pretty, something that you might be thinking right now is that because we're talking about fourth, now we get another voicing. We're going to get a voicing with a sharp 11 or a sharp 4. So it'd be a major 7 here, this is also a voicing I've used before, where we have one perfect fourth, major 7, and major 3rd. So to review, we got this voicing, this voicing, this voicing, and then the Lydian voicing. So that's Ionian. Then we have a minor, or minor 7 flat 5, because no fifth. And then Mixolydian, and then Lydian. So far, that's pretty cool already. We have these structures that are like modal in nature because of the chordal, like perfect, like the fourth intervals that are sort of happening. So already there's a lot of like musical like color there to explore, right? Instead of using your normal major 7 chords, you can use these sorts of ideas, right? What if I play something like this? Sort of like an A minor, and then I go to that C Ionian voicing. It's kind of like, it's a major chord, but there's like some tension. Right? Or what if I do like this thing with the Lydian voicing? Right? Or, this voicing I use all the time. See? It's beautiful voicing, really. This one is common. You might have even played it as well. And it's going to be way more straightforward for you to use and integrate in your playing right away. This one is admittedly a little bit spooky, a little bit spicy, a little bit uncommon. But that's what's really interesting to me, because I'm at a point now where I'm very interested by sort of novelty, more specifically novel ways of playing things that are already expected, right? I can put this on any one chord, right? So I can, like the Roman numeral, so I could do something like this, right? It kind of gives me that thing. What if I play it sort of here, perhaps? If I take this structure of the drop 3 and I with the perfect fourth instead of the fifth, and I just harmonize the scale, right, it would kind of be something like this. Right? So it's familiar, but modal, kind of hovering around there. The resolution doesn't feel quite the same. But something that, will make my head spin a little bit more, that I'm more interested in, is exploring these drop 2 inversions. Real quick, if this stuff is going over your head, I have a course that is aimed more at beginners, and it's discounted right now. It's a chord voicing creation masterclass, and there's a link right here. There's also some free stuff on my website, so if you want to check it out, that's where it is. So let's kind of keep it major 7 for a second. So the normal drop 2s would be, but if I drop the fifth to the perfect fourth on each of these, we're going to get these more colorful voicings, and it's going to be a lot more cool, I think. Right? That's fun. This is one I've used before. And then this one I can't really play, actually. It's beautiful. This one's really stretchy. This one's not really particularly forgiving. Let's do the minor ones now. So those are the regular inversions of the drop 2. If I drop the 5th to the 4th on all of these, it's going to be like this. That's nice. Very nice. Now this is the dominant. The regular dominant inversions of the drop 2 are like this. So again, if I drop the 5th to the 4th, that's beautiful. This is a voicing I've used in before, actually. Nice, I like that cluster there. And then for the Lydian one, it's going to be a little difficult. Beautiful. This one's easier to play. So here, just if you were to what I was doing, I was taking the regular major 7 and dropping the 5th to the sharp 4. So. Oops. It's very beautiful. So all of a sudden now, like, I've done this exploration. The next step for me would be to probably try to take this through some sort of music, so maybe some sort of tune that I already know, right? Like maybe I could play 500 Miles High. I'm gonna go really slow because this stuff is really difficult for me, but it's kind of it's a way for me to explore this idea on the context of a tune. So I'll start kind of here. That's easy enough. That I think a good idea would be to invert to a third inversion of G minor. Yeah, that makes sense. Then next chord is B flat Lydian, so I'm gonna do this. Yeah, that makes sense. Then I got a 2-5-1. So what do we got to do there? I gotta go off of the 3rd of B half diminished, and then E7 11. Oh yeah, where's off to A minor. That's cool as fuck. So that's B minor, E7, A minor. So originally it's this, but now I'm doing that's beautiful. Let's go back up here, and I'm gonna do, what am I gonna do? F sharp half diminished. And then I have to go F minor. And then I guess I'm going to do C minor 11. And then how do I do the B7? Like this. Yeah. So again, originally it would be something like this, but I'm going it's very cool. So anyways, you kind of see the wheels turning. I could probably spend like a bunch more time like on this, trying to not only try to do it in time, because obviously I'm doing this out of time because I'm kind of just like seeing what I could sort of put in there, but also there's so many different tunes that I could do this over, right? Like we've already figured out like how to do a 2-5-1, right? What if I do like what if I just practice my 2-5-1s in different inversions? So if I do sort of like if this is a 2-5-1, like an A minor 7, A minor 7, D7, G, major 7, right? So I would go very modal, very, very modal. If I do the inversions, it sounds a little bit better, I think. So same chord progression, but I'm going to do different inversions. Third inversion. And then we got third inversion. It's beautiful. What if I do A minor 11? One more, I guess I would have to do this. So that would be A minor 11. In first inversion. Then we have D7, 11 in third inversion. And then we have G. Inversion. So anyways, my head is fuming. This stuff is super hard, but it's really interesting because you get at these chord progressions that are really familiar, but then all of a sudden all the color is completely different. This is a very, very sort of strict example of like taking something that is usually very tonal and sort of understood by many people, and then you kind of flip it on its head when you sort of flip that voicing, because then all of a sudden the inversions don't sound familiar, but the voice leading is sort of sound. Anyways, this stuff is super difficult, and but it's very, very fun to sort of explore, and I hope you had some fun exploring this with me. Certainly this is going to fuel a few more hours of practice for me, probably after I finish recording this video. My name is Joseph Anajar. I'm a musician from Montreal, Canada, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.